Hi there, this is Åsa with a new process video. Today I'm making another birthday layout, and I will be using these 3 photos of my son when he had his birthday, when he turned 5, and I'm making it a themed layout with inspiration and pretty much everything from the Scooby-Doo gang. And as my inspiration piece and for some authenticity for my ideas, I'm using the Lego mystery van that my son got for, I think, Christmas. And so I'm using the Scooby-Doo theme because in one of the photos my son is unwrapping his, I guess, largest birthday gift this year, and it's like a vampire castle from Lego, and it's Scooby-Doo themed. And I wanted to go with these very bright and fun colors of the van, and I wanted to just have this piece of Lego in front of me while doing the layout, to be able to just get real inspiration from something three-dimensional for once. I still have a couple of those cards from that Simple Stories birthday theme sheet that I used for my daughter's birthday double spread, and I will be cutting apart and using some of those cards on this layout as well. I have stolen or borrowed or just been taking a photo or a picture of the Scooby-Doo gang from internet, and I printed it on my photo printer, and I'm cutting away some of the white border just to make it a bit smaller and have room for more on my page. I want to bring in all these colors from the van, and I have the green, the orange and the baby blue, and I will also bring in some of the purple that's in Daphne's dress, and also it's in this model of this vampire castle that my son is looking at in the photo. Last time when I did a birthday layout, I talked about lighting, and I said that we always had bad lighting for the birthday photos since it's in the early spring, but in these photos you see that I have perfect lighting, and that's because my son had his birthday on a Saturday, so it was totally different, and we were building Lego the entire weekend, and especially during this Saturday we had a lot of fun, and our fingers were pretty much sore from building all that Lego that he got. My son is all about Lego, and he is building models for ages way above his age, and we are encouraging this interest of his, and our big plan now is to go to Legoland in Denmark for a summer vacation next year. So that's something that we'll be saving up for during the year, and hopefully we'll be able to make this trip. I have been wanting to go to Legoland since I was his age, so it's about time, don't you think? First they told me that I had to be a bit older, and then they told me that I was too old. So finally, when I turn 40 next year, so it's about time, I think. I'm looking forward to it already, and my son, he's been asking about Legoland ever since he first heard about it, so it will totally be a blast. I brought out that retro flower punch and punched out 2 green flowers, and I think those are just perfect for this theme and this kind of style. The mystery van has all these flowers, and the color was just right in this green tone. I have that bird, I've cut it out of a card. You see that there's another card on the back side, and I found it fun, so I wanted to use it, and the same I've done there with that soda bottle with a straw. I think that's a really nice icon, and I have been using it a lot now when I'm making summer layouts. and I made lots of layouts with these symbols of the bottle with the straw. I wanted to accentuate or at least place this number 5 for his year some place in the layout, and I'm not really pleased with the color that I got. I should have made a bigger effort to find a shade that was better, but in the finished page you see that the color that I've chosen is totally the same color as Fred has on his trousers, and that makes it somewhat okay anyway. And I will continue this color on these stars and like flowery wood veneers that I'm coloring right now, and those will go all over the layout as embellishments. You can also see that I've used this mini retro flower punch to make some other flowers in the same green tone as the big ones, and those will also be embellishments for the page. I have outlined the pieces of paper that I'm building my layout of with a black pen, and that's to enhance the cartoony kind of feeling of this layout. Here I have printed 2 versions of Scooby Dooby Doo, and it's just one with regular kind of cartoonish font, and then I've made an offset, I think maybe 1/8 of an inch, and then I'm placing the actual text onto that offset. And I'm going with orange and purple since it's a really fun Daphne kind of color combination that's very common in this series. So I thought that was really fun. And I will be placing them a bit wonky on the page, and I think that makes everything very playful and fun. Now it's time for some cluster building, and I saved the paper that I cut out the title in, that purple paper, and I will use that as a foundation for my embellishment clusters. And I will realize that I need to do that just about now. Yeah, here it comes. I have been talking about this before, and I want to stress it one more time, and probably more times after this. But when I get these tiny pieces left, you know, when you cut off a branding strip, when you just peel off a tiny sliver of something that's to make it fit, I like to save those as at least for this layout. While I do this layout, not throw it in the basket, but save it on the edge of my table just until I'm ready. Because those slivers are the best for layering, and those are the ones that make the difference. Because they are the same color and the same pattern as the rest of the layouts, they are perfect for building clusters. And when you use the color, like in this text, it gives a very nice feeling to see that color in another place on that layout. It gives the text, or the color of the text, it gives it a deeper, like it allows the color to be there in a really nice way if you repeat it on the same page. And that's totally for free. You always get those small pieces, especially when you cut something out of with your cutting machine. There's lots of leftovers, and it's easy to just throw them in the bin and forget about them. But these just tiny slivers, it's just like 1/2 inch and nothing much. It's not a scrap that you would save, but it gives just everything for these clusters and these spots where I place them. I have them in 3 spots just to stay with the rules for once, and and I love the impression that it gives. And also here, for example, the soda bottle there, it gets something to stand on, and that's also important for the ease of looking at this page. I found that the title got a bit lost because it's a lot of things going on this page, and I'm outlining the offset, the orange piece, with my black pen. I'm not outlining the purple actual text, just the orange offset. I'm writing the journaling on that little card there in the right corner, and I'm just telling that we call this day his birthday for the big Lego day, and that's been it's also the day after Christmas. That's also the Lego day, and that's usually when we get sore fingers from playing with new Lego. They are quite hard to start with. I wanted to use something more from that collection pack, or the cut apart sheet with birthday themed cards from Simple Stories, and I found this card with a cake, and I thought that was fun to use beside his cake. And it was also a sentiment on the card, make a wish, and I cut out sentiment just with a tiny border of that background color, and I placed it over his head, and it's got the right curvature to totally stay within the photo and not obscure his sister who's standing next to him. So I thought that was really fun, and it was a fun detail. I like to place details on top of the photos. It makes the layout into more of a collage, and I have always loved that. Here are some close-ups of the finished page and some just so you can see the finished product. I hope that you have enjoyed this rather fun and colorful themed birthday page, and I hope to see you soon here in my channel again. Take care. This is Åsa. Bye.